everybody. Welcome to another edition of Thoughts Count, coming to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of Las Vegas. That's right. Chief cannot be with us today. So in honor of football, we brought in Pappy Graham. He's with us, sporting his real football helmet. You could tell he probably had a few dings to the head. But thank you for watching us on Facebook or YouTube. Of course, the downloadable apps, WWDBTV, to your Android, WWDBTV LV. I can't do this straight. iPhones 702-992-3207. That is terrific. Look at that. That looked good on you.
Or something, I would have lost it.
I'm gonna leave this here. There we go.
In case I need it again.
In case you need it again, exactly. In case we barrage you too much. Welcome to another dish. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen you. We got a lot to talk about since we've last been with you. Hopefully everybody had a great Labor Day weekend, but here we are. It is now, what is today? 9/9.
Yeah.
We are 2 days
Monday
away
will
from
be 9/11.
I was just going to say, we're 2 days away from honoring and remembering the events of 9/11. So if anybody out there who was there, we've all been affected, thoughts and prayers. And please, you know what we really should do, though, is make 9/11 memory memorial every day, something we should do every day, because since that time, I think our country, people, whatever, we've lost that patriotic feel that we had back then. And we're business as usual, even more in the negative side, I think, than back in that day.
True.
So hopefully we can come up with a way to fix that. Anyway, my far right, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood himself, Mr. Matt Mullen.
What's up?
How you doing, my friend?
I'm good.
And of course, Pappy Graham, also called the Chief, is in the house.
Good morning, everyone.
You know, you said it, you made a comment before we went on the air that it was like weird not being here last week.
Yeah, it was really strange.
And I felt the same thing. And it was just like, wow, we don't have a show to do today? What the heck? I was like checking my watch. Maybe I had the wrong day or something. But you know what? We needed a break. We needed a break to just kind of catch our breath. And it was a hectic August, especially at the end, being at Sam's Town and all that other stuff. We had CAC in town, which I know you went to for a day or so.
Yes.
So anyway, so we're back. We got a lot to go on. Good morning, historian. So how's it been since we last saw you, Mr. Matt?
I've been good. Just working a bunch. Went to a friend's birthday party last night.
Sweet.
It's a fun time.
Good. Mr. Chief?
You know, I think by having off last week, I think our batteries are recharged.
Yeah.
And we're ready to move forward. You know, I'm going to deviate off because it is called Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Right.
I'm going to deviate for a minute. I want to say to you, your show yesterday,
The Kiwanis Show? Kiwanis Connects.
One of the best.
Really? Thank you.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Thank you.
And
we talked about 9/11, and we had Frank Pizarro, who was a firefighter that was down there. We talked about what Kiwanis was doing for remembrance.
And it was excellent.
Thank you.
And I believe, and we talked off camera about plethora of topics this morning.
He said it first, folks.
Plethora. And but you know what?
Yes.
We need more discussions like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it makes for a healthy environment in this country.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So,
no, I appreciate that. Kiwanis Connects is Friday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Of course, right here on Facebook out of the WWDBTV studios. Or something I did not say, in about 72 hours, you can download Roku to your TV box, or wherever you get it, and then add the WWDBTV channel to that, and you can see Thoughts Count Anywhere, all the shows that are there. You got a what's that word?
Plethora
of shows with which
plethora.
A plethora. Oh, we're changing the syllable now. Plethora. Okay. Of shows to choose from. So, all right, let's get started, guys. We have a lot to cover since we were last together. Let's get started with some rumors. Rumor is Brock Lesnar has reached a deal for a new contract that will last until WrestleMania 41. It's a verbal contract as of now, right? They kind of like the old handshake deal.
I don't think anything is going to go to an effect until like the Endeavor deal hits on Tuesday.
It's a great point.
Before they start making like contracts and stuff, because there's a bunch of contracts up actually.
Yeah, and we'll get to that. I saw the names that we have there, right, coming up here.
Yeah.
You have Seth Rollins, The Miz, McIntyre, Imperium. Of course, I think of all of those names, I didn't realize Rollins, Miz, and Imperium, but of course, McIntyre was back in the news about his contract where he hasn't signed yet, where everybody believed he had.
Yeah, he just added dates to his from injuries, but his contract is still up soon. I can see him signing the rest of them, but I could honestly see Drew leaving.
I got an interesting, and that was part of what I was going to ask. Could we see any of these? I don't think Imperium will leave because of
Gunther.
Gunther. But could any of the other three possibly leave? There's rumors talk that Edge is possibly going to AEW now.
Mm-hmm.
True.
So I'm wondering, could one of these three possibly leave and go to another organization?
So that's a great question. So let's do a percentage. Seth Rollins, what's the chances he would stay versus leaving? In your mind?
Staying 100%.
Okay.
Because of the belt, I totally agree.
Okay, and I agree with that.
He's like one of the top 3 in WWE.
Right, and Becky's still there. Although that doesn't mean married couples aren't on different programs, i.e. Naomi and Uso.
Yes.
The Miz, I would say, would be 100% staying also. He's done great at where he is. Does he want to do more and maybe have a main event card run if he goes somewhere else? I don't know, but I see him staying.
I would assume that him and Maurice have a contract. Does WWE do their show?
No, it's the USA Network.
It's the USA. So WWE's got nothing to do. I could see the Miz leaving possibly.
Okay.
I would hope not, because he is one of the few Grand Slam champions.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But isn't WWE part of like the executive producer kind of thing?
Probably.
Is that with all the talk of WWE and all the footage of behind the scenes and matches, I got to think WWE would be part of it, like Total Divas, sort of thing.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
I'm sorry.
Total Divas.
I think the Miz is like a WWE lifer. I don't see him going anywhere.
Right.
You don't get the credit he nearly deserves.
Right. Especially now. I agree with McIntyre. I think it's 50-50, to be honest with you. And Imperium.
No.
Does anybody really care about Imperium? I don't mean Gunther. I mean the other two.
Well, I think the other two are part of the storyline, though, with Gunther.
Well, since the beginning, yes. But lately, I don't see them supporting Gunther as much. There's lackluster.
But they had the matches before he had the match with Gunther. They were part of the storyline.
Okay.
If the bald guy was to leave, I don't think I would care. But Ludwig Kaiser is awesome.
Okay.
The bald guy. Oh, yeah, okay.
Burnett thinks Miz isn't going anywhere as well, but he does see Vinci, whichever one that is. Is that the bald guy?
Vinci.
Right?
Yeah.
Going. Ludwig will stay, but they will let Vinci walk. So right along with the same lines of what you just talked about.
Okay.
Rumors WWE is going to put the rocket on LA Knight and are also trying to lock him down to a long-term contract.
That's interesting, because I and you know how I am with the dirt sheets, folks. I take it with a grain of salt. But I read that LA Knight has proposed a long-term contract.
Okay.
Not WWE.
Okay.
Now, I'll say this. I think The Miz, if they have a storyline, that's just going to put LA Knight over even more.
Well, they've been teasing one with him, right?
Yes.
with the Miz doing the impersonation of him, right?
And then they did the impersonation of John Cena because Cena reffed their match.
Right.
So, but hey, kudos to Sean Ricker. He deserves everything he is getting.
Mm-hmm. Let me
and
ask
you heard it first here, folks. Yeah.
Is The Miz a first ballot Hall of Famer for WWE?
1,000%.
Okay. I agree.
Totally.
Just wanted to put it out there. Rollins, of course, is. If McIntyre sticks around, I think he is. If he leaves, does he have enough within WWE or however whatever they look at as a resume to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame? Would McIntyre get in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he carried them during COVID.
Okay. So they're going to all forget about 3MB.
What's 3MB?
Really? Between him, Jinder Mahal, and Heath? And they had that little...
The 3-man band, baby!
Okay. Something that's not on here. I don't know if
Never
we
heard
discussed
of
it
it.
2 weeks ago.
What?
Some famous guy was recently fired from AEW. Something like that.
We have to talk about
Yeah, well, it's newsworthy. I think we have to at least give it a few minutes.
it. You guys can talk about it.
CM Punk.
Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. You want to put your earmuffs back on so you don't hear anything? CM Punk.
You know those helmets were introduced in like 1920 when he was like 50 years old already?
Mhm.
I was waiting. What
Yep.
that. These helmets were also made famous by the Three Stooges and the Marx Brothers, by
Yes,
the way.
they were.
It's funny. I didn't
That's
realize
awesome. That's
1920.
awesome. I got to get me one of them, though.
Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer's out
Hey,
there.
good morning, Jen.
So, Punk, is he done? I don't want to see him come back to WWE. Not when you guys like got LA Knight and you got these guys. Now they're putting their rockets behind these guys. Is he an Impact guy now at this point, maybe to help them? What do you think, Matt?
He could be. I thought when CM Punk came back like this last time, I thought it was just a ticking time bomb with a very, very short fuse.
Mhm.
Like it was only a matter of time before something crazy happened and he was gone.
Okay.
I didn't expect it to be that fast, but apparently after he went after Jack Perry, apparently he went after Tony Khan, which was the
Well, reports say Tony felt, in fear of his life for whatever
Yeah.
happened back there. Is he too much of a cancer? We don't want to put butts in seats. We're not going to take anything away from that, if for no other reason, just to see the crash.
Yeah, but most
right?
of the shows they had with him on TV
Right.
were from Chicago.
Right. That was Collision, right? They were
All right.
doing the Saturday show was
yeah.
I'm going to give you my take.
okay.
That's every other AEW show. Though.
Punk.
They're all in Chicago.
Punk, the fuse went out on Punk in WWE
Mhm.
years ago.
Mhm.
Okay. He was out, 7 or 8 years away from wrestling, something
Mhm.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Khan gave him a chance to come back.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm going to say it this way. There were some things happened backstage
Mhm.
involving CM Punk and other people. We read what we read. We don't necessarily know if it's true or not. All right. And I'm gonna say it that way. But there were things that happened.
Mhm.
This last one, if Tony Khan, well, shit. I'm doing my rant now, so to hell with it.
All right,
If-
stand by,
Go ahead.
because we got to make it official.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so. So anyway, this is the chief. I'm going 2 minutes, not a minute more, 2 minutes. Here's how it is. If Tony Khan feared for his life, okay, CM Punk should have been fired right on the spot. Shouldn't have waited. Shouldn't have been no damn investigation. Well, this happened. Bullshit. You own the company? Fire his ass on the spot. That's how it is in the world. AEW is a business just like any other business in the world. It doesn't take 2 or 3 weeks for an investigation and then, oh, well, this is the conclusion. This is what the legal team said. Fire his ass. It's that simple. So to answer the question, does he deserve a third chance? If I was a businessman, there's only one place he could go, is Impact here in the United States. I'm sure there's other companies in the world that he could wrestle for. Maybe he could go to Saudi Arabia. I don't know. But Impact, if you're stupid enough to hire him, good luck on your ratings. that's the Chiefs rant today, over and out.
All right, with that, folks, we're going to step aside for our first break. There we go. See, when you're live, you shuffle around the order of things to happen, things off the cuff. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We will be right back.
D'Lo Brown. If you want to be part of one of the greatest podcasts on the world, Thoughts Count Anywhere, every Saturday, 9 to 11 Pacific. Now recognize that.
Hey, everybody, Aaron Philson. I am standing with
Anthony Miller.
Hey, I have a quick question for you. What's the name of your favorite wrestling show?
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
What a convenience. Saturday, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific. If this guy watches it, better watch it also on Facebook. This is your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere. That's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch.
Aloha, this is April Hom, the Royal Hawaiian from Glow, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from WWDBTV studios in Las Vegas. Matt, Chief, I'm Aaron. Thank you for watching today. All right, you were going to ask a question that we were just chatting about, coming back from break.
So we were talking about firing. And Matt, I'm going to ask you the honest question, because you're down out in the public daily.
Yeah.
If I worked for you and I was causing problems with the general public, you'd fire my ass right away. You'd have to.
Yeah.
I don't
I'd
understand.
fire you just because.
Well, I know, just because.
Right, the just because clause.
There you go. That was good. I like that. Give me some on that one. I like that. That was good. But seriously, we don't trust the dirt sheets. Okay, we read them, we look at them,
Mm-hmm.
but we realize that probably 85% of it's not true, or it's a swerve or something. But when you're fearing for your life, and that came out black and white, and he said it on TV, you ain't got to wait. Fire his ass.
I'm not CM Punk coming after you to make you fear for your life, but
Well, who would you
it
take
is what it is.
in a fight, CM Punk or Tony Khan?
Tony,
I don't know. If I got like Wardlow or somebody in the back, I wouldn't
No,
worry about CM
Tony,
Punk.
Tony, I would take Tony Khan.
Really? To in a street fight, in a
No,
fight?
no,
Are you
I would take Tony Khan
okay? Why?
because he's got all that money.
No,
And he would have a great legal team if it went to court.
that's fair.
From his hospital bed because he ain't getting no
Well,
fight.
that's the point, right?
Hey,
Exactly.
the Vince McMahon with the bedpan.
Oh,
right?
yeah, there you go. All right,
But
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
being real.
No,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm tired of color coding. I stay
Sugar
quiet,
coating.
whatever.
It's sugar coating, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Caramel. Okay, but I'm being serious.
Yeah.
When it causes such an uproar in the back, and we don't know how much it did.
Right.
Sorry, you're out of here.
Yeah. Colorado, by the way, is up 3-0 over Nebraska for those who are concerned. Thank you, Thomas. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the WWE report.
Thank you for allowing me to do that. guys.
General
I
Adnan
appreciate it.
passed away at 84 this past week. Interesting fact, though, tidbit there, Mr. Matt. Why don't you share that?
Wow.
I didn't realize he was born in Baghdad and he was actually high school friends with Saddam Hussein.
I don't know if you want to put that on your resume, however, so I could see why really.
Well,
Who knew that? I didn't.
But years ago, it
Right.
probably didn't matter.
High school time, sure. Guy was 84,
he's,
so.
he's about, I'm close to his age.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
Back then, it didn't matter.
Right, well,
Saddam Hussein was a thought.
Right. Because he's 84, so you're in high school, 14, 15, you're talking 70 years ago. Hussein was not what we knew him to be in today's history back then.
I was in high school in 69.
I was 5.
There you go. So,
Wonder what hill of dirt the high schools were in Iraq 70 years ago.
Which cave, right? Just a financial note in case you haven't seen it yet. WWE and UFC merger to create the TKO group will be finalized this week.
Is that the one that Vince is going to be involved with?
Yeah, that's the new entity with UFC.
Okay.
Rumors swirling that when the merger is complete, there could be some releases happening. I've heard everything from corporate people down to potential wrestlers.
Really?
Yeah. Because we're now
they got to cut like $15 million like this.
They need the money.
That's 1 or 2 wrestlers. Well, it's not that they need the money, but when you're a new entity and you're on the stock market and you want investors, you've got to try to trim as much fat so that your next quarterly report shows you made a shitload of money.
I got the answer.
Okay.
Don't re-sign Brock Lesnar. There you go. There's the $15 million right there that they need.
Wow.
Don't re-sign Lesnar.
Red alert, red alert.
Where's Brandy when I need her?
I don't know about Brandy, but there is a sighting in the chat room of an individual we have not seen in quite some time. Mr. Sean Hyde's in the chat room. Good morning, bud. Glad to see you jumped in there. Thank you for taking a few minutes with us. 702-992-3207.
Hey, Sean, you working today or will I see you tomorrow night at the wrestling show? I just want to know.
There you go.
Inquiring minds.
So you're right. Brock could be a thing. You know, we know that there's some high. There's a lot
Drew,
of.
if they don't re-sign Drew.
I think it would be a mistake if they don't re-sign him. That's just my.
I think I would rather see him sign Drew than I would Lesnar. Just me.
Oh, I agree. You know what? I agree with
me.
that. I totally agree with that. Well, remember this past week they just released somebody out of NXT. Not a big name, not a multi-million-dollar guy, but Gable Steveson has been removed and he's not on the roster, and they have nothing for him. And Sean sent him home.
They think about this. Think about this. The light bulb went off in the Chiefs' head, and that don't happen very often. The Olympics are coming up.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So but that was made common that he wants to do that. It was made public knowledge.
So he probably
was given the time to do it.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's fair.
I wrote my case.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Pretty damn good, huh? Yeah.
Sean says he will be at the show tomorrow.
All right, brother.
All right. That's a good point. They could be hiding him because of the Olympics and all that other stuff, and then after that he comes back. That's a great possibility. I didn't even think about it.
And I would think that this is me personally. I would probably think that he chatted with Kurt Angle to see how best to handle it. And with Sean down there, I'm sure Sean, if Gable was to walk in and, honesty's the best policy, and say to Sean,
this is what I want to do.
This is what I'd like to do. Can you help me to get to the point?
So here's a trivia question for you guys, Mr. Historian. Who's the only wrestler today who has retired 2 Olympic gold medalists?
Who's
Baron Corbin?
There you go. Ding, ding. There you go. Baron Corbin, of all people, right?
Where is that boy?
He hasn't been seen.
I haven't seen him on NXT lately.
There's supposedly, I heard a while back or read on those wonderful dirt sheets that maybe they're going to tinker with his original gimmick and bring him back under that somehow.
I hope he's
the lone
not.
wolf.
I hope he's not one that's going to get let go.
I
like
think
him.
So. I would be surprised.
I like him
because he's really good with the talent to help put him over at this point. Listen, there's a lot of great people on the WWE roster who've reached a point in their career where you want to see them win and take those steps, but at the same token, they are winning because they're hoping to put people over that need that push, and they've got that reputation. If I beat a Baron, if I beat a this, like Natalya, on the women's side, that it's good for them to get that push. I hope he doesn't go there, but again, there was talk that they're working on the lone wolf gimmick of some sort to possibly bring him back under. Who knows?
Well, here's one too that we hadn't seen in a while. Because our last show, I wanted to say, where's Ricochet been? But he was just on the other night. But you hadn't seen him since the match he had with
Logan Paul.
thank you.
Right. Ronald Young puts in there, NXT signed Brian Pillman Jr. without having any plans for him. And Burnett says Carlito is sitting at home getting paid as well.
And eating
Apples.
apples.
All right. Dudley Boys signed a WWE Legends deal.
I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. What are they going to do under that?
Means we get new Dudley Boy figures.
Oh,
And they're
okay.
going to be in the video games.
Hey,
And they're getting together for a special 1000th show coming up. We'll talk about that a little later.
Tonight.
What is that?
Tonight.
That is tonight. That's
I
right.
saw that. Do you know who I had the honor of meeting this last 10 days?
Because it's EA, somebody old.
One of the best tag teams in the business.
Oh, the Nasty Boys.
The Nasty Boys.
Those guys are delusional as
They-
all hell.
They are.
Delusional.
My God.
Another brunette just entered the chat room. Good morning, Nicholas.
They
And
they
Thomas
were awesome.
shared with us that Colorado is now up 10-0 over Nebraska.
Go Buffs.
Anyway, sorry. Oh, Sandman also got a Legends deal, according to Nicholas.
Who?
Sandman.
Sandman
I
did?
yeah.
Okay.
So how much do you think these Legends contracts are worth?
That was what I was going to ask you. How much they getting paid?
I'm not sure. I think it's off like royalties of like figures and
Merchandise.
Hey,
merchandise and games.
your man. We got to make sure we get Greg Valentine figures when they come
Here,
out.
put this on. Scott Hyde asked a question. Scott wants to know, is that Chiefs high school football helmet in front of Aaron?
Yes.
This is Pappy Graham, for all of you who don't know, a long-distance relative of Popeye.
Can I have a close up, please?
Are you ready for your close-up?
Oh, my God.
I'm ready.
Please don't turn off your sets. Are your teeth out, by the way? Oh, my God. Don't slobber on the mic, please.
We're ready.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
go.
Our live feed just got cut.
Oh,
Yes.
no. The NFL cut us off. Anyway, Zoe Stark has been getting a lot of praise within WWE. So where do you see Zoe Stark? Let's fast forward 2 or 3 years. Where do we see Zoe in a couple of years within WWE?
I think
Champion?
her status will be, in my thought, knowing what we've seen of her here and her capabilities in the ring, what we've seen that they haven't seen yet. I looked for her. I eventually, I think it'll be Rhea and her. And there's got to be a couple more.
Rodriguez?
Possibly.
The back.
The back.
Her name's the back.
And moving up, and I think they'll take over from Becky and from Charlotte and
You need a
and
core.
Natty.
You need that new core force. So to
Exactly.
speak.
And I think she'll be in it. She's that talented.
She'll be a multi-time champion like 2 to 3 years from now.
Sean says multi-time women's champion. So here's the thing. So we just talked about a few of these lady wrestlers who need to step up to take over from the current Charlottes and Beckys and Baileys. Who on the men's side can take over for the future? The Seths and the Romans and Gunthers and all that. Who are guys we see coming up?
Oh, I
LA
think,
Knight for sure.
I think Gunther's going to be there for a while.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you think he's going to be a mainstay for it?
Yes.
So let's look at the
Yes.
old guard. Let's look at a Roman, Seth, all those guys. Who's the next ship to come up behind them? I think we all agree LA Knight should be part of that at this point. Yeah.
He
Who's
is,
the
but
guys?
he's also older. So if he's going to do it, he's not going to do it very long.
If I'm not mistaken, I think LA Knight's like I think he's the young 39.
I thought the report I read yesterday is 41 as
Is
they were
he?
talking about that big deal. I could be wrong,
Before
but he's close. He's close to that. So, okay. So,
Hey, historian, how old is LA Knight?
so
Let's
how,
make everybody mad. Dominic Mysterio.
oh my God. Oh my God. You know what though? The thing, how about him and Logan Paul?
Not Logan Paul.
Johnny
Dominic Mysterio.
Johnny
No,
Knoxville.
turn his mic on. I knew it was coming. Man, did I step into that one. But you know what? I do agree about Dominic. I think he is going to be that heel face for a while. He could be the heel style to take over for your high heels. I agree with Dominic being in that.
It's even
group.
like they did like an interview with Edge on the bump, and they were like, "You're sitting here right now with like your 25th year anniversary. Who do you see sitting in this chair celebrating their 25th anniversary that's on the roster right now?" He was like, "Dom."
Yeah. See, any other names pop to mind? I can't think of any, and I really don't know who's down in NXT who's ready to come up.
The
to be part of
only
that.
one I could think of is Sean said he's 40.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Braun Breaker, I got
That's-
for Ronald Young.
That was the one I was coming up with. But who's the big tall guy that's down there too?
Big tall guy.
Yeah, Ronald, help me out on this one. The big tall guy that just had the match with
Carmelo.
with Braun Breaker.
Oh, where he got his head slammed by the steps that they went black at the end?
Yeah.
Von Wagner.
Von Wagner. He could possibly be.
I seem to recall a guy get called up from NXT months and months and months and months ago.
He hasn't been seen in a while.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Cameron Grimes.
He was affiliated with the $1 Million Man,
Yep.
DiBiase. When are they going to listen? Carlito's signed and sitting aside. Pillman's sitting aside. Where is Cameron Grimes?
Yep.
Let's get Leonard Nimoy, who I know is dead, so it's a bad exaggeration. Let's get him in search of Cameron Grimes. Where the hell is this guy?
Catering.
Sometimes I wonder if they purposely take the wrestlers off camera for a couple months to give them the time to come back on TV and start up again.
But isn't that what going through NXT is supposed to be about? When they're done in NXT, they're supposed to come up when they're called up to be involved. If you're going to have a guy like this, is like a guy being called up from AAA, right? Hottest guy in the league. You call him up to your team. What do? You sit him on the bench except for pitch hitting for a couple of months. Then what do you end up doing? Oh, he needs his at-bats. So we're going to send him back down to AAA because he hasn't played regularly. But if you're coming up from NXT, these guys should be ready when you got a Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, but
right?
the Oakland Athletics send them to AA. So, what the hell?
They sent him to Summerlin. Come on now.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, serious question.
Hi, Liz.
When wrestlers,
Just giving you a heads up.
That's okay. When wrestlers go off camera like they do WWE, hey, Jade Cargill with AEW, where's she at? Okay, there's another one. But when they go off,
She purposely stepped away from wrestling, didn't she?
But when they go off TV like that, what's the real reason that they go off? Some of it is rest, I'm sure. Some of it's injury. But like Aaron said, Cameron Grimes, we haven't seen him.
Sometimes the creative team just don't have stuff for them.
Then you don't call him up.
There's only
you
so
leave him
much
in NXT until they're ready for him.
True.
You know, he came up, did a couple of vignettes with Corbin, the aforementioned Corbin originally.
Right.
Did he ever wrestle on TV? Maybe once, maybe. But then if you have nothing for the guy, don't let him sit around and waste his talent. Let him keep doing shit in NXT.
I'm sure Shawn Michaels was like, all right, he's ready to go. Sends him over. Vince is like, what the hell is this?
The one, and I agree.
Some hot shit.
Carmelo, I agree. Carmelo could fit in with Bobby Lashley's group. Okay. Braun Breaker.
Why? I'm just joking. Don't go there.
Why? What the hell is he talking about?
Never mind.
We'll talk about. We'll educate you off camera,
All right.
Chief.
Anyway, but Braun Breaker, I don't understand why he's not up.
He was talked about coming up months ago.
I don't understand.
Like WrestleMania. Like
Right.
the day after WrestleMania, everyone thought he was coming.
But could part of that be his real last name? And that's got something to do with it.
I don't think so.
I think it's the fact that he's only wrestled like 50 matches in his life.
So in that case, they're doing the smart thing.
But why did they put the belt on him then?
Because he was like the big thing in NXT. But there's a lot bigger things on Raw and SmackDown.
Well, I don't disagree with you. But if he's the biggest thing in NXT, he should be the one to get the push to go up. No.
All right.
Or am I
Also, a very big fish in a very small
Or
pond.
am
He's
I
going to be a
missing
very
something?
tiny fish in the Pacific Ocean.
To me, if you have nothing for these guys and gals you're calling up, leave them in NXT. Let them keep working. Because when they come up to Raw or SmackDown, they should be put right into play. If you're not going to give them the time, they're going to sit on the bench. They need their swing. Send them back to AAA.
Do we've got what, Thursday nights, there's no wrestling on TV.
Impact Wrestling.
Well, I don't get Impact. So Thursday night, WWE ought to put another show on and use the NXT wrestlers that aren't on TV,
but you're not going to. Otherwise, it's too
or
NXT
the wrestlers that are back in catering, put them on TV.
Well, that's what they do. The main event, don't they have that main event show that they do Saturday nights, or they record that for a YouTube show or something? They have those events for them, or even house shows. Let them wrestle on house shows, for crying out loud.
How about they just do like WWE Iron Chef and they put a wrestling ring next to catering?
I'm okay with
so
that.
then they can
They
have
can come right in.
Yeah, they can just go right from catering to the ring. And
I'm all right with that.
All right,
Ooh, dancing with the wrestlers.
Where we at?
Well, Nicholas says supposedly WWE wants NXT to be the third brand. That's why main roster stars are going back. All right. I'm glad he brought that up.
But you said
because it was believed that
Go
when
ahead.
NXT started, it was the old OVW, right? That was the concept. It was supposed to be the training level, the AAA level of Raw and SmackDown. Then when NXT gets hot, everybody was talking about it as a third brand, right? Remember, NXT wrestlers got involved in SummerSlam or Survivor Series all those years ago, right? Adam Cole, and we had that third brand. But Vince said, no, you guys lost to AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, so we're going to shift you back over here, right? NXT, you lost. Now comes the tie-dye NXT 2.0. Now we went back into that developmental mode again. Now we're trying to bring NXT back. We've already been there and done that as the third brand, right? Am I missing something?
No. Their roster was stacked when
Yeah.
they did that too.
You had some great you had main event people in NXT that right now, other than some of the names that we've been talking about down in NXT, can they really carry and be a third brand within WWE now versus when they were the third brand a few years ago?
Now?
Yeah. Can they reestablish themselves to be a strong third brand so that when people say, who's on TV? WWE, SmackDown, and NXT, they got three shows, which they do now, but
are they going to bring people down from the main roster to be on NXT, or just strictly the wrestlers that are at NXT?
Well, the
now?
original time, if I'm not mistaken, was the roster that they had down at NXT.
Okay.
Right? I like the idea if you got wrestlers switching Raw and SmackDown all the time, I'm okay with them appearing on NXT if NXT will be treated as that third brand.
To answer your question, currently, Tiffany Stratton is defending the NXT Women's Championship this Tuesday against Becky Lynch.
Which also happens to be the only belt she hasn't won, right?
Yep.
Becky? Mm-hmm. Does Becky win it? Because of that. And if she does that mean she stays in NXT, or does she defend the NXT belt on the main roster somewhere and bring up those NXT challengers?
Here's an interesting point. If Seth goes off TV for a while due to injury, it makes sense that Becky goes down to NXT, wins the belt down there, stays down there for a while to help put over some of the women that are down there. Then they can come up to the main roster.
So I like the idea. If Becky wins, bring those NXT challengers up and do the challenge on Raw, SmackDown, wherever they want to do it. Gives juice to NXT. That person is on the main roster, going as a challenger. Gives bigger exposure to the NXT belt because it's being seen on Monday or Friday nights with a Becky Lynch, for instance. I like that idea personally.
I think it would definitely help. I think by Dominic winning the North American title, I think it's helped him with his character development as the heel.
Well, and look what it does for Judgment Day. Everybody's got gold.
Yep.
Right. Yep. So it's.
Are they the new bloodline?
Possibly. Now you're talking about JD McDonough, which is now going to kind of segue into one of the items on here. Is JD McDonough going to get involved with them? Because after all, look what he did. He came out with the new briefcase.
That was cool.
For Priest, the purple one, which I thought was pretty cool.
Senior Money in the Bank.
If I was Priest, I would have opened up the new briefcase to see if the contract was still in there before he hands off the other one, But, are we going to see the expansion of that? Are we going to see the expansion of the bloodline? You're talking about, what's her name? Belair's name keeps coming up. either there or over with Bobby Lashley and company.
I think she'll go with Lashley.
That would make sense, right? It would make sense if they turn her.
Seeing Carmelo coming up.
Yeah.
Going with them, I think that, that would be a great fit for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely. Chad Gable, after losing to Gunther on Raw, Gunther now is the longest reigning intercontinental champion ever.
Yes.
Congratulations. I think
I'm okay with that.
Certain records are meant to be broken.
No, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because you know who Gunther reminds me of?
Johnny Knoxville.
Killer Kowalski.
He has that. Yeah, he has that.
The way he wrestles, the toughness, you don't, and don't take this wrong. You don't see a lot of fancy.
Right.
It's straightforward smash mouth. Killer Kowalski style.
Okay. Thoughts on Gunther?
I think Gunther is awesome. I can see him being champion for a long time.
And really, it's really the first time in a long time that we've seen an intercontinental champion hold the belt for this long. Yes, it's history making, which makes me think back to when we've talked about it here. The IC belt was a stepping stone for the next potential heavyweight champion.
Yep.
And the way they built him to be the record holder now, in my mind, there's no question in short order, whatever timetable that is, we'll see a championship belt on the waist of Gunther.
Well, you look at it. Patterson got his shot at the championship. He didn't win it. Pedro got his shot. He won it.
Right.
Okay. Bob Backlund had the IC. Went on to win the championship. So I agree with you. And I think it definitely should be the stepping stone.
I want to ask a question that I want you guys to chomp on during the break. And it actually came in from Nicholas in the chat room. He says he wanted to see Gable beat Gunther because he's tired of seeing long title reigns. With that, my question to you is, are long title reigns good or bad for WWE or pro wrestling today? Think about that. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
Well, hello, good people of planet Earth. Is this thing on? Hello. I can't see you out there in TV land, so I'm going to rely upon the honesty of the internet that I know you're on the other side of this mirror. And me, your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, is hoping that if you want to stumble upon the greatest form of internet entertainment of all time, even though the internet's only been around for about 23 minutes, I would like you to watch WWDBTV.com. It is amazing. It is awesome. They'll teach you the meaning of life. They'll teach you all sorts of cool stuff, how to turn peanut butter into jelly, and so many other things. And if you're going to watch, do it with styles. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Is this thing on?
This is Jeff Bearden, the Giant Warrior. Join me on Saturday mornings to listen to the best wrestling podcast on the internet, Thoughts Count Anywhere. Tune in to WWDBTV to be able to catch this wonderful show and stuff. I know I'll be here every Saturday to watch myself.
Kind of quickly going though. Hi, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey, what's up there, folks?
He even gave me a countdown and I still wasn't ready.
That's
Anyway, all right,
Don't worry
real
about
quickly.
it. You're off a little bit today,
I am.
but that's okay.
Thoughts on the end of NXT, which we were just kind of hinting about with the step and in the head, they went black, which is old school mentality. Thoughts on the way that NXT ended, Matt?
That looked crazy, and it did exactly what they wanted it to do, draw a lot of attention, and there's been a lot of talk of NXT the last week. I just thought it was kind of funny. Some fan posted like the alternate angle of the thing, and Baron Corbin called this dude a piece of trash, and
the guy
I hope you're never allowed to watch wrestling ever again.
Yeah. But you go back, and I'm going to go old school now. You go back and you look at the cage matches and the barbed wire matches and the flaming branding iron. All right. What they did on NXT falls right into line. Okay. So I just hope the fella didn't get hurt.
Right.
But I'm okay with what happened. That's why they go like this.
Yes, absolutely. Speaking of not danger, but injuries, Daniel Bryan and Ricky Stark had that bullwhip match.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was a picture of Stark's back.
Yeah.
Woo, folks, you know what? It's so funny when people, wrestling is fake. Yeah, we all know what the balance of pro wrestling is. But those injuries on the back, those strap marks, sorry, folks, they ain't fake. You know what I'm saying? So that just kind of takes your breath away. All right, real quickly, WWE holds an event in India. Why was it not aired anywhere?
I don't know. That had a pretty good card too. I kind of wanted to see it, just to see like how the crowd was in India too.
Mm-hmm. I saw the clip at the end of the tag team match with Cena and Rollins, and obviously they won. And
Big tall guy got in the ring.
yeah, Kali saying
thank you.
he's the tiger is still alive.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cena spoke, and the
Yes.
crowd went. He thanked everybody, and he went. Everybody went crazy. My thing is I don't think it was televised because I think, again, we talked about this over the last few weeks. That was nothing more than a glorified house show. Did any of the existing storylines that we know get pushed any further with that card? I don't think there was any, in my opinion, but I just thought it was a glorified house show, and house shows, unfortunately, generally don't get televised.
Maybe,
For like the first 5 years, so were all the Saudi Arabia shows.
That's true.
Maybe
You're right.
WWE got their $15 million there for Tuesday.
That could be. Maybe there won't be any releases as many as we expect. So
Just saying.
anyway, so that show like that's just a glorified house show, and in my opinion only. That's just my thought. And
Hey, I'm glad for the people in India.
oh heck yeah.
Okay. Hopefully they had a good show over there.
Quick shout out to the Giant Warrior. Jeff Bearden is in the chat room. We played his
what's up?
promo spot. Good morning, Jeff. And he says the biggest crowd that he ever wrestled in front of was 75,000 people in attendance in Mumbai.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Thank you, Jeff.
Mumbai.
Hope you're feeling well down there, buddy. We just played your promo for us during the commercial break.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for tuning in, my friend. We appreciate it. So
I
let's
knew
quick.
that.
What's that?
I knew he was there.
Sure you did. Fancy pants. All right, let's go to Payback from this standpoint. It was 10 days ago, almost 2 weeks ago. Any matches that you want to just make any comment on? I don't want to delve back through the card, in depth because it's old news, but is there anything in any of the matches that you in particular would like to bring up?
I thought it was kind of funny during like the Cody Rhodes on Grayson Waller effect when he brought in Jey Uso as the newest member of Raw and Michael Cole's dig of he used to be an EVP somewhere. He can get stuff done.
Oh, that's right. That's a great point. So who do you think is going to go back to SmackDown in this exchange? Well, who do you think, that
Nobody.
they're advertising someone's got to go back.
Nobody.
Okay.
To set up WrestleMania, what better person to send to SmackDown than Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, his name has come up the most for sure. All right, we'll see what happens. All right, let's switch quickly over to the AEW.
I don't get it.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you did.
No.
You kind of looked at me like you didn't think anybody was going. I thought that was your answer.
I'm glad to see Trish put Zoe over after the match.
Yes.
I think that's important.
Yeah. Well, listen, we talk about how great.
Passing the torch a little.
Exactly. Absolutely. Passing the baton. And you know what? Here's the thing. We all, I think, agreed that when she came up to the main roster, being paired with Trish was a great move for her.
Huh?
And we knew it wasn't going to last forever.
Right.
But it was great that you're right. She did put her over. And she had some, it was a good thing. That's what these experienced performers, experienced wrestlers at a certain point in their career should be doing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think those in those positions are doing it now.
And can I make one more comment?
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Trish Stratus looks great for her age.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Well, she's a fitness guru and workout thing. She's always done that, right? Yes.
She looked good, brother. Yeah, buddy.
Liz, are you still in the
Is she a
chat room?
I hope not.
Is she a hubcap? Oh, yeah, I hope not.
Oh, yeah, hubcap. Yeah. She's a definite hubcap.
All right, let's quickly start going through the AEW
Top shelf
Raw. You're called a historian. You don't
She's
know
like one of those spinners.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Anyway.
All right, we got 10 minutes.
All right, we talked about CM Punk. We can skip that. Thoughts on MJF and Samoa, their promo battle? I didn't see it, so I cannot comment on it.
Oh, it was cool just because of the history of like the NXT thing that happened and when he shoved him it all in.
And then MJF, MJF's walking up the ramp,
Oh, and
Samoa's coming out,
kinda
gives him one of these.
give him the
Hey,
shoulder.
you know what? It's a good sell.
Okay.
I'm not a young kid anymore. I'm a grown goddamn man. I'm the world goddamn champion.
He's 24 years old. But anyway,
And he's better than you, and you know it.
you know what? Are they really? And I got to ask the honest question: are they really trying to promote Joe to become the champion?
Could, or just make MJF look that much stronger. But the promos on Dynamite, all like during the whole show, were like all great.
Yeah.
It's like CM Punk getting rid of lit a spark under all of them because somebody's got to step up to be
You know what?
their top guy.
I'll say it this way: with Mr. Punk not being in the locker room anymore, I think the wrestlers can actually breathe a little bit now, and do it the way it was before. And hopefully we're going to see more to come.
Other notes: Ace Steel was also fired from AEW with Punk at the same. Was he involved in that altercation?
No, he was just CM Punk's guy.
Gotcha.
When CM Punk came back, they forced AEW to rehire him. So if he's gone, you're gone. Bye.
You know what? It's like I said in my rant. Fire his ass.
Mhm.
It's that simple.
When Tony Khan announced that he fired CM Punk on Collision, 89,000 people instantly turned the channel, proving the point that CM Punk has value. Right? He puts butts in
seats and he sells merch.
But 80,000 people out of an audience of what? What do they usually get on TV?
I have no
for
idea.
Collision?
250, 300,000 maybe. That's
Okay.
like a third of their audience.
That is big for Collision. But obviously it sends a signal.
And probably the 80,000 were from Chicago.
That's probably, because they would have left early to go home to bed early. Absolutely.
Yeah.
AEW announces Full Gear will take place at the Kia Forum in LA. Does this mean we might get a Vegas show before Double or Nothing? Or do they go back to Chicago? They don't have to go back to Chicago now.
No. Hey,
Tony Khan was so uncomfortable getting booed on Collision. It was funny.
AEW, they're doing the show at Arthur Ashe Stadium again.
They have the
Yeah, September 20th.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
That is a waste of a tournament with the whole Samoa Joe and MJF thing. And Samoa Joe's in this tournament, really, who's going to win? What's the point?
Exactly. But see, we think rational,
creative doesn't.
No, of course not.
And we talked about it. Collision on Saturdays was created more or less for a brand split to have Punk be the center of Saturday's show with people who are willing to be on the same show with him. But now, since this has come through, as you mentioned before we went on the air, that brand split more or less now is going to be erased, and they'll basically have 3 shows to perform on. Oh, okay, thank you. We jumped right into things.
Yeah, we can do that.
The medication, man. All right. You could have jumped on the mic and corrected me. It wouldn't have been the first time that you wouldn't have done that.
What?
You could have, yeah, exactly. All right. Before we get to a couple other items, I do apologize.
You ready?
I'm ready. Go for it.
It is now time for story time with Matt.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
I got a funny story today.
Oh, good.
There was a place in our building called Axhole. And
Well, what?
No,
Asshole.
Axe throwing.
Oh.
Axe throwing place called Axhole.
Oh, axe throw.
And they usually send a couple of the members of the staff out to promote on Fremont Street, and they have a bunch of boards and stuff, and one of them has a plastic axe, and the guy's just throwing it up to himself to draw attention and be like, "Hey, come to Axhole." So I was like, I saw him. I was walking to my office, talking to the owner of the building, and I look on the cameras, and I see Metro running into the building with like AR-15s and shotguns, and I was like, what in the actual hell is going on? So I like lock my office real quick, and I see the sergeant of Metro coming by our loading dock, and I was like, hey, what the hell's going on? And they were like, hey, we're looking for a crazy guy wielding an axe on Fremont Street. And I was like, where is he? I was like, do you need my cameras? We'll figure this out. And he was like, he's over by Dirt Dogs. And I was in my head, I was like, that's where the promoter is. I was like, is it the guy with the fake axe? Like their employee? And he was like, hold on. And he like puts his computer, because it's like updating as like things stuff goes on. And he was like, oh, it is a fake axe.
Oh, jeez.
So the guy almost got freaking shot just trying to do his job, because the amount of cops that came was intense.
My God.
Yeah,
Therefore,
you only need one.
But some lady called 911 saying somebody's wielding an axe on Fremont Street,
well,
which
you know what? In a way, I understand that. If you don't know, you
Yeah.
see something, you're gonna call it in.
What's her name? Karen?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh my gosh! Talk about a real axe hole.
That's almost as bad as people that drive drunk and have little children in their vehicle.
Yeah.
And flip the car.
Yep.
Speaking of, I saw a really crazy thing about this. You know, in Texas, if you kill a family, if you kill parents in a drunk driving accident, you have to pay child support for those kids.
Really?
It's a law in Texas now.
Good.
Wow.
They should pass that everywhere.
That's great. All right, we have a couple of minutes left. Yes, sir.
That was my sister.
Oh, really?
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a couple of minutes left. So Matt,
Couple minutes.
of the remaining things under either impact, indie, or pop culture, let's pick one.
Pop culture.
By the way, Jennifer would like to know, Matt, if you know the band Spandex Nation.
No.
There you go.
Do you know the band Spandex
That's right.
Nation?
She probably does.
I'm
That's
looking
why
forward
she's
to
asking.
Impact 1000 tonight.
And I guess the question is, do they stretch?
That's not worth
it.
Go ahead.
Huh.
They ride bicycles.
You didn't like that? That was pretty damn good.
Matt,
I
get us
thought.
back on the rails.
All right,
for the
where
last
we at?
couple.
So I'm looking forward
Before we go
to
off the rails here.
Who's on Impact 1000?
Well, let him finish. He'll tell us.
Go ahead.
the beautiful people are going to be on there. The Dudley Boys.
Did you see what's her name quit NWA?
Velvet Sky.
Yeah, I wonder if she's going to be there tonight.
She is. She's in the Beautiful People.
Is that the one that they
You
have?
need to watch the show on Thursdays.
Is that
Chief,
the-
put this
is-
back on,
Is
will you,
that
please?
the one they haven't announced yet that's going to be in the tag team? Because I know each one of the teams has one wrestler that haven't been announced yet.
No, they haven't announced what the Beautiful People are doing, but she's probably going to end up with like Jay Vidal and Savannah Evans, and then
And Love, what's her name?
Angelina Love.
Gail
Love.
Kim and Awesome Kong, they're returning to the
Yeah.
ring tonight too. Yeah, put this back on.
You want me to put-
Well, just so you don't get hammered in the head anymore by Matt. That's all.
It should be a cool show. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Is it
I'm
being
ready.
televised?
How
somewhere?
did they even think that was going to protect
What
their
channel?
heads?
Same channel it's
Can I-
always on.
Can I
Access, is that the one
pay
that they're
per
on?
view?
If you go on their YouTube channel and you hit the
You're
there's like a
ta-
thing on there, you pay like $1 a month, and
he's
you get to watch
talking
all the
to-
impacts
He's
live.
talking to the wrong guy.
Yeah,
to do
you're
that
right.
shit.
He's still
I
got
don't
a
know how
flip
to
phone,
do that
remember?
shit.
He's got a flip phone.
Thomas, you were supposed to help me do
still
that,
talks
man.
into tin cans with string to
What
talk
the
to people.
hell?
You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, man.
Tighten that
Hey,
up.
can I
That
get
was
a-
his upgrade.
Can I get a close up
Last
real
year.
quick? I'm trying to get my. There
By
we
the way,
go. I'm ready.
Jennifer-
All right, thank
Get
you.
your head screwed on straight.
It's on. It's on.
Jennifer says they play at Fremont Street on Thursdays and Saturdays, mostly hairband music from the 80s. All right,
Oh, okay.
pick a topic before we say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Impact and
We just did that
will
one.
Be bound for
How about this one? Kick that off. We got a minute
Football
left.
season starts this week.
Well,
Hell
it
yeah!
started
Hell yeah!
Thursday.
That was a fantastic game, man. The Detroit Lions.
Pappy, why don't you give us your prediction?
The Detroit Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
I thought he was going to say you predict the Lions to beat the Chiefs.
I predict, this is my prediction. The Kansas City Chiefs and God, I hate to say this, the San Francisco 49ers are going to the Super Bowl this year.
Wow.
That's my prediction.
Even though Kansas City lost, they don't have Kelsey, and they still haven't signed their defensive
Kelsey
line.
will be back in week 2.
All right.
That's my long string with the Toucans.
I hope
I was right to them. And Kelsey will play in week 2. So bet on it.
I'm just going to start
That
saving
way-
now because if the 49ers are in the Super Bowl and
And
that
it's-
shit's in Las Vegas, I don't care how I have to get into that building.
Oh, you're getting in.
I'm getting in.
We'll figure it out.
Highlight games of this. Every game is a highlight game. Monday Night Football. Bills going to the Jets. Of course, A-Rod's
The Bills and the Jets, right?
at Jets with A-Rod. Aaron's getting his first debut as a Jet.
I have to say this. Bills, take his ass out.
My Giants and Cowboys on Sunday Night Football,
Yeah.
and the rest, and of course,
I'm pick-
college football.
I'm picking the Giants in that game.
Thank you. College football, week 1, we kind of talked about Dion a little bit. We've been teasing. The games continue this week, so
My Volunteers looked good.
enjoy your football this weekend. We've got to go. Yes, sir.
I'm going to give you the upset game of the week.
Okay.
UNLV over Michigan.
Oh, Scott's going to fire your ass. Final
I'm
thoughts.
flipping that and I'm sending it to
That's
Scott.
right. That's right. Send that
What
to
exact
Scott.
moment was that shit said?
That's right. That shows you when you play football with a leather helmet. You don't know what you're saying. Matt, final thoughts as we say goodbye, please.
Man, leave it alone.
Everybody have a good, safe week. I'm getting Chief in so much trouble when this show goes off the air. Oh my God.
I figured Scott. I figured as soon as I said it, Scott would be chiming
He
in.
could be watching, just hasn't said any. Morning, Rafi.
He just pulled up.
He just with a plastic axe, by the way. Yeah. Final thoughts.
Oh man! Hey, everybody! You know, I'm glad we're back. I missed it. You know what? Everybody be safe out there. Let's just have a good week and stop hitting people that are walking. Please, please, please.
What do you mean hitting people that are walking?
The 1-year-old girl. Then there was another one up here in the crosswalks.
Oh, like pedestrians
Yeah.
getting hit?
By and they don't even stay on. They don't even stay at
Hit
the
and
scene
runs.
of the crime. They're hit and
Yeah,
runs.
that tells you no insurance. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. We covered a lot in an hour. Next week, we'll be back to keep talking about our favorite passion. That's pro wrestling. Enjoy. If you're able to watch Impact tonight, enjoy it tonight. Let us know your thoughts on next week's show about Impact 1000. Thank you for watching. Make sure you watch us next week in 1 hour. I will be joined by Denver Bronco great Rick Upchurch to talk about what he's been doing really since he's been off the field and all of his philanthropic work.
Hey.
Thank you for watching. Be kind to everybody.
Be
Why is
safe.
that?
Be
We're all we
safe.
have. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Be safe.
Love you guys.
Yes, sir. Hit it.